Hi. One of the things I want to talk about today is VMware, specifically ESXi. Uh, I have traditionally been using Hyper-V as a virtualization environment, and I decided since I had a big project converting client machines that I wanted to set up a production environment so that I could test all of the possibilities and set up an identical environment uh, before I actually worked on the production system. So I did that using a server that I have. It's an Intel Xeon server. It's an older server. It doesn't have a huge amount of space, but I didn't need to duplicate all of the space. I just needed to duplicate the operating systems and some of the software and the interactions and the upgrade to the new version of Active Directory and databases. So I set up VMware ESXi on this server. It's an amazing operating system. You can download it for free, version 6 or 7. I downloaded version 7. My server doesn't have a huge amount of space. It only has a terabyte, but uh, ESXi will support up to 1,024 machines on one host, which is way more than I needed, and up to 32 um, hosts per CPU. So it's a perfect environment for me, and I'm now using it consistently as a lab environment because the Hyper-V supports two machines, but with VMware, I can turn machines on or off and test the situations I need to. And it's so easy to set up a new machine. I downloaded the evaluation editions of Microsoft Server 2022 and some other things. And I'm now using Windows Admin Center um, because when you install Server 2022, the default is to install the non-GUI environment. And I must have been, I'm not very comfortable with using the command line language. So the Windows Admin Server is a graphical environment via web, and it is so much uh, more easier because syntax is so important in PowerShell, and that is a little bit of an issue with me. Anyways, I'd like to give you a quick tour of the VMware that I set up uh, here for my testing environment, and here we go. Okay, the VMware console is accessed through an HTTP page. The actual console on the machine, if you plug into a monitor, you can't do anything with that except shut it down, a couple of other things. But this web interface is amazing. Let me find the password. Found the password. It's fairly complex, so I never seem to remember it. So here's the main screen. All the virtual machines are listed here. The ones that are green are running. So I went in before I recorded this and turned on a couple. The other ones were for a test that I was doing for a client's system. So we won't need them. So you can see each virtual machine. If we click into this one here, you can see what it's doing. And if we click on it, it has, you get a little bit of information about it. And over here on the right-hand side, you can see that I've assigned two CPUs, 4 gigs of memory minimum, 90 gigs of hard disk, and I have, you can assign as many network adapters as you have in the host system, video card, and here CD, DVD drive. I have that linked to an image file that's in the data store on the virtual machine. So I've downloaded a couple of eval versions of Windows for this test, and also the Windows Admin Center MSI. Of course, you can't attach that to a DVD. Okay, logging into them. Now, if you want to log into one, you just can click on it and it will take you in. Now, I was just logged into there, so it went straight in. You can see I've got the eval edition. So it, for all intents and purposes, it's exactly like another system. So let's lock out of there, and I'll show you, sign out of there. I will show you how easy it is to set up another machine. So basically, I'm going to go up to virtual machine, create a virtual machine, get some choices here, give it a name, and then I'll fill in that it's going to be a Windows machine because I've got those images there. You can also enable Windows virtualization-based security. Now it takes you to the disk storage. The data store on the host machine is there. There's 336 gigs free. I can go in there and change that once I select that data store. So now it loads. This is where you determine the number of CPUs from the main machine you're going to assign to it, the memory that you're going to assign to it, size of the hard disk. I'm not going to keep this machine, but I will give it enough. So the virtual adapter, CD, DVD drive. So I'm not going to use the host device. I'm going to use a data store ISO file, and I'm going to use one of these ones that I've downloaded. And I believe this is the 2022 version. And there we go. So I get to confirm all of my choices, finish. It's going to add that machine to the bottom there. I can now go in and start it. You got to remember to, oh, I wasn't fast enough. Let me pause the video while I do that. Okay. You have to remember to click into the window before the keyboard works. That's a good safety feature. I don't always remember to do that. So here we go. So it opened the image just as if it was in a physical CD, DVD drive. Here we go. And we're off to installing the server operating system. And that's all there is to it. So I've got the evaluation edition, as I mentioned. I'll just make a note here that they've got the desktop experience and the standard evaluation, or the data center evaluation and the desktop experience. If you choose the standard one without the desktop experience, it will not load any of the GUI. It'll just be a command line interface. I'm going to close that now and just give you a quick look. It's just sitting there suspended. Show you the data store. Here's the data store. You can increase the capacity by adding more drives or an external drive. And this is how you get information into the data store. As I showed you before, there was some evaluation additions. You just click upload, it browses your computer, away you go. So I'm not going to upload anything new. And then if I look at the host, it gives me the details about the host, and you can tell it's not a very powerful machine, but it's serving my purposes. So that's the demonstration. Thanks for watching. Check back again. I will be upgrading this. I think it was 7 upgrade 2. I believe there's a 7 upgrade 3 or 4. I'll be upgrading the host, which involves turning on the remote access directly to the host, the command line interface, and running a script once you've uploaded the update to the data store. So check that out. See you again. I hope you found this video useful. For advice on this or any other software, my contact information follows. If you like the video and want to see more, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you again.